Hi guys, and welcome to Java tutorial of hotel management system with database. Now let me show you guys how this works. Okay, we can print. There we go. So all you just need to do is to select whatever server you want, and that's it. Click on print. But I don't have a printer on my system. We can reset. I would not do that now. We can delete. Let's take a good example. Look at, I have Kingsley Queen. I have 3 of those, so we can always click on delete role and delete role again. We can also delete Grace Warlock. We have about 3 or 4 in there. There we go. Tony Montana. We have a lot of Montanas there everywhere. Alright, the delete works well. Okay, the update, that's the update, nothing is happening. Okay, now if I entered data in here, let's assume I enter as follows. Let's say the reference is, that's the reference, and the name is Paul Omen, address number 1 Boston. Okay, those are the details of Paul Omen. I've just had to speed that up. That's the room number. All we just need to do is click on total, and there. If you go right down, you can see the details of Paul Omen right there. Okay, if we double click again, look at it. Come right down. And you will even see all of these details on the database. Let's open up the database. I'm going to go straight to the database, and let's go to open up data. And right in here, let's see, that's the database, and let's browse. There we go guys, look at that, and that's Paul Omen, Kingsley, Grace Warlock, Tony Montana, and so on. So what I'm going to do now is, let's close the database. I'm going to take you guys straight into Java NetBeans development environment, and we'll put one of these together. Hi, and welcome to Java NetBeans of an hotel management system with database. I'm going to start by clicking on file, and let's select new project, and I'll make sure you select Java with and select Java application. Click on next, and let's give our project a name. I'm going to call it hotel database. There we go. You see this create class main. I'm going to uncheck that, and let's click on finish. There we go, and right here we have the hotel database. So I'm going to right click on that, go to file, and let's select JFrame, this very one right there. There, and my JFrame, I'm going to give it, just call it the same name, hotel database. There we go. The package name, I'm going to call it the same thing. There, and just click on finish. There, my system is now ready. If you guys are wondering why am I creating this again, actually the first one that I created was without database, and this one I'm actually creating it as the request of one of my viewers out there. I'm going to show you the comments. I like this, how to create hotel management system in Java NetBeans. Can you recreate it with a database, please? Thanks, Captain Paul. Okay, saying thanks to me. There, I'm going to close that. Now, back to our system here. I'll right click and let's select set layout, and this layout that I'm going to choose, I'm going to select absolute layout. There we go. Alright, the properties are all here. Okay, on the properties of this, you can right click and select property, or you can come right down here. So what I want to do is I'm going to go to the code, and in there I will change the size of my form to 1450. and I'm going to make, that is the width, and I'm going to make the height 800. Generate center, checked, click on close. There we go. Now the next thing is I'm going to go straight to the palette here, and let's select J label. Yeah, there we go, that's the label. I want to click on that and dump it right there. Now go to the properties, and inside the property I'm going to change the size of that very label. Let's change it to about 14, make that bold. There we go. We also need text field there, and the same thing, the size of that text field, I'm going to change it to 14 bold as well. There. In total I need about 16 of these, so I'm going to copy it across, but before then double click on this one and just change the text content to customer, and whatever we have in here I'm going to get rid of that. So let's say this one is going to be customer reference. There. And this text box, I'm going to right click and let's select change variable name. I will change that to JTXT customer reference. There, and click on OK. I'm going to get rid of the text content in there though. Let's go back in there. Let's get rid of whatever I have in there. Do that in the property here. There, that's that done. So all I will then do is just copy it across, select both. I need a couple of these, and that is 2. Copy again, paste. We have 4. Okay, I'm going to select it all, just copy and paste. There, that will be 12, and I need one more. Drag this and paste it right underneath here. There we go. And right here, let's enter a panel. I'm going to create that and just drag it here. There. And let's go straight to the properties of that very panel. I'll go to the border here, and I'm going to just change that to maybe line border, make that maybe around 4. There we go. Now here, up here, I need a table. Let's see. There we go, guys. Grab that and dump it right there. I have my table on the system. Okay, now let's bring it down. There's nothing happening right now, but let's get our buttons in place. There's one button here. Oh, you see this very panel? Let's right click on it, and I'm going to change set layout to absolute layer, so that's fine now. Okay, and I'm going to change the text content of this to about 18, or maybe let's make it a little bit bold, maybe 24. Okay, I need 6 of those. Let's copy, paste, and there we go. Now I have about 6. I don't seem to like this color or this black color. Let's go back in there and just change the whole thing around. Get rid of this, and let me select bevel. And the bevel, I will lower it. Yeah, that's much better. I like it that way. And I need to add. Let's come in here. We still have enough room here. Okay, move it aside for now. And in here, I need 3 of these. Copy, and let's paste and drag them right in here. There. Okay. Alright, let's rename all of these ones. So this one is going to be known as first name. Then we have surname. Yeah, let's get rid of this. Address. Postcode. And this is going to be known as, I'm just going to call that maybe mobile phone. Yeah. And let's enter a column in all. I'm going to do that for this one as well. Column. This would be email. And here I'm going to call that nationality. And so on. So I'm going to just speed that up. This will be date of birth. There. Let's speed this up. Okay guys, this is how it's all looking now. It's not finished yet, because I still need to take care of these on these very ones here. I'm not satisfied with them. I'm going to delete the text field for the nationality, and I'll prefer to add this local chooser, this very one. You see it has different countries names, so that's much better for me. Okay, you see that this is officially embedded in it. So I will show you guys, I will include the link of where to download that from. And the other one is the date of birth. I think I'm going to use something to do with calendar. I have it here as well. Date. These or this, I think is this. Let's no, I don't like this one. I'm going to delete that. I would prefer this one. Yeah, this one is much better. But I'm going to have to cheat here, because I will need to be able to add. I'm going to include the dates. Let's copy this, copy, and just paste it in here. So the dates, when I click on the date, I want it to be displayed here. So I'm going to copy that and just drag it like that. See? So there's a text field in there, that very text field. The name is going to be, let's come in here. You see this very text field? I'm going to change the name. Change the name to JTXT, and that will become DOB, because I'm going to be making reference to it. JTXT DOB. Okay, so whatever I have in here, I will assign it to JTXT DOB. And I'm going to repeat the same thing for this very one and this. But here, I'm going to go for a combo box here. Type, okay, ID type. Get rid of the ID type, and let's come right in here. Let's look for a combo box. There we go. Just add that here. Yeah. And one more combo box here for gender. Delete that, copy the combo box, copy and paste. That's sorted. I'm going to copy everything I have in here, copy, and I'm going to paste. I actually need it here, so let's paste this here for now. Yeah, right there, and get rid of this other one here. Yeah, select all of these and just bring them here. I'm going to get rid of these as well. Copy everything here, paste. Yeah, that's cool. Now all of this, Let's get rid of them. I will copy this. Two more. There we go. Right, that's fine. Okay, that is fine. So you see this one now? I will now change the data that I have in there. Drop this down, and that is to do with ID verifications. Okay, get rid of that. So I'm going to start with, let's say, select ID type, and below it is going to be driving license. Then we go for passport. Pilot license. And finally, I'm going to settle for student ID. There we go. Right. And let's change the font to about 14 as well and make that bold. I'm going to repeat the same thing for all of these. 14, make them bold. There. Now let's come to the next one here. This one is easy. Let's select type. That is going to be gender. So come right in here and I just enter select gender there, and that is going to be as a male, female. Let's copy this, click on OK. You see right here where we have selected type, that is gender. Okay, it's right there already, and this one should have that as well. Select type, yeah, that's correct. Now come right down here, the next one here, that is going to be the male. Click, and that will be select male. Also, let's just say select number of male. So I'm going to have just 3. 1, 2, 3. Okay, and come right down here. This one is going to be, it's going to be room type. So let's call that select room type. So it's going to be single, double, or family. There we go. That's done. And click on OK. Now this one, that's going to be number, room number. Click on that. So for this, I'll just make up room numbers there. Select it, and that will be room numbers. So the very first number, I'm going to kind of like call that, let's say 001, 002, and so on. It's 3, 4, 5, and there we go. Those are the room numbers. So click on OK, and finally it's going to be this. That's for the extension numbers of the room. So let's come in here and just copy everything we have in here. Copy and come right down in here and paste that right there. That is for extension number. There. And this one is going to be 101, 102, and so on. Okay. There. The extension numbers taken care of as well. And finally, let's come here. There. the table. In total, I'm going to enter about maybe 15 of these records here. I'm not going to enter it all. So come right here and let's go for model somewhere here. There we go. Click on that. Okay, the first one here, I'm going to change the details of that to customer. Let's get rid of the content we have in there. Customer reference. And I'm going to change this to string. Okay, and this one is string as well. This one is going to be first name. We have surname here. There. And we have address. And the data type is string. This one is string as well. And I'm going to insert more here. Insert. I need a couple more really, so let's cut this off. Okay, this one is string. Let's select and add more to it. 14, 15 in total. So I've just changed all of the data and get back to you guys. And that's it, all done. So let's change this one to string as well. There. In total, I have 15 and 15 columns in total. I'm going to click on OK. There. Let's compile and run this thing now, just to show it to you guys and see how that looks like. Okay, let's click on run. There we go. There we go, guys. There's nothing happening right now. This is how the whole system looks like. Apart from this very good device here. It's very, very good. I like it. Okay, now here we have the ID type, we have gender there, we have dates. That's very good. And this as well. I will include a link of where to download all of this from. And if you want to know how to create this properly, you will see my very first tutorial on hotel management system. You will see full details on this. I will include the link to that hotel management system to this very one. Okay, that's it. Now let's do two more other things. The next thing we want to do now, let's go straight into the project file here. You see right here, we're going to need a driver, and that very driver is going to be right in here inside my library. So I want to right click on my library here and let's select add J folder. There we go. Now this is the driver that I intend to use. I'm going to select that very driver. I will show you guys the link to this driver as well. Okay, you need the SQL JDBC 3.30. As at the time I developed this program, I think the latest is 3.30.1. So I'm going to select that driver. There we go. That driver is now right in here. That's good. Now the next thing we're going to do is we're going to have to create a database. But before then, now guys, let's start work on the database. Okay, you guys are going to need this. You're going to need the Sqlite Browser. I will include all of this on my description area of this video. And you will also need the SQL driver as well. This is the browser, this is the driver. Now let me show you guys how the browser looks like. Close that. I'm going to minimize this. This is the browser, but let me show it to you. Once it's installed, that's how it looks like. Now let's create our database. Click on new right here. Okay, once you double click on this, just want to show you how that's going to look like. That's how it looks like. I'm going to click on new database. It's very simple to use. So enter the name of your database there. I'm going to call it Hotel Database, and I'm going to save it right inside where my project is. Where is NetBeans? There we go. Double click on that, and right here have Hotel Database. There we go. So I'm going to save it right in there. Now the name of the table, I'm just going to call the table as Hotel Database as well. That's okay. There we go. Now let's click on add field. The very first field is going to be known as customer reference, and customer reference, the data type, I'm going to make that text. And right here we have the primary key, and here if you click on this one, that means text, not nil. That means you must always add text in there. The primary key, I'm going to leave that out, no problem. You can add your primary key if you want. Now the next one is going to be first name. First name, the data type is going to be text as well, followed by surname, text. I'm going to enter the address, and it's going to be text. So I'm going to speed this up. Alright guys, my database is completed, and those are the fields. So let's try and show it to you guys. There we go guys, those are the fields. Okay, there we go. Now I have the fields in place. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to click on OK, and if you want to browse, let's assume we have any data in there. That's how we browse it. Just click on browse. This is the structure. You can always delete if you want, or print if you want, or modify. There. It's a very reliable system to use. Okay, I'm going to close this now that I've finished with this. We'll minimize it. We can always come back to it once we are done. Now database is created. Let's go straight to we need to connect that very database now. So what we need to do is go straight to the services right here. Okay, the services will go straight to the database. If I minimize that, what I want to do now is I'm going to add a driver. You see, that's driver. Let's do that first. But before I go any further, let me do one more thing. So what I want to do now is to add the driver straight inside my project. Let's open it. Those are the drivers, various drivers that I normally use, and here that's my project. Okay, that's the database that I've just created, and now I need the driver that I copied earlier on. Double click on jar files, and that's the driver. Click, drag, and just drop it in there, or just copy it instead of clicking and dragging. Copy, because I might need it again. There we go. And I have the driver right inside my project directory, so I can now close this. I don't need that anymore. And I can even close this. Let's close this as well. There we go. And just for your information, if you need those drivers, that is the link to the driver, which I'm going to include in my description area. Okay, and this is the driver that I'm using. This is the latest for now. Now, as for the browser, this is the browser, SQL Browser. I will also include this link on the description area right here. Where is it? This is it. 64-bit. That's the one I'm using. Okay, so you guys, we have this link as well to play around with, and here those are the URL. That's the URL for that, and that's the URL for the driver. So those will be included for you guys. So minimize that, and I can even close this. I don't need it anymore. Close all the tabs. Right, now let's come right in here. Okay, go to services, click on services. Let's right click on the driver, new driver. Okay, but before then, let's drop this down and see. Click on the plus sign. Let's click new driver. I already have some drivers in there. I'm going to click on add. Take note of these two drivers that I have in there. Okay, I'm going to add a new driver just for the sake of this tutorial. Let's go to where I have my driver. I have it right in here. There we go. Right click there. That's my new driver. Look at it as SQLite 2. Okay, because I already have SQLite 2. Just for the sake of this tutorial, I'm showing you guys how it's done. Okay, that's SQLite 2. I'm going to click on OK. So I'm going to be using this throughout this tutorial. There we go. And that is SQLite 2. Okay, that's my driver in there. The next thing I want to do is to connect to a database. So to do that, go to database up here, right click on it. But take note of these two connectors here. You can see their link is broken. So now I need to connect a new database. This new database, I'm going to have to add a driver to it. Okay, add, or drop this down. Let's drop this down. We want to select SQLite 2. Look at it. That's the one I'm using. I'm not using any of this. For this tutorial, I'm using SQLite 2. Click on that. Now, I'm going to click on next because I already have my driver. It's already found it. That is it right there. So I don't need to add any more drivers. Okay, I don't need to add that because I already have it. Now, click on next. The next thing now is in here, make sure it's SQLite 2, or if you're using SQLite. Okay, name, I'm not going to give it any name, and I will not give it any password. But I do need the location of my database. I will now go to my database right here. That is my database. Click, hold on to your shift key, right click, and select copy path. Look at it right there, copy path. Okay, or if you want, you can use another method to copy the path. You can always click up here and just copy address, but I prefer to use copy path because you will end up typing this. So if I copy this, let me show you the difference. I'm going to copy this, and let's come right in here. You see where we have less than 5 and greater than. I'll paste that in there, but the problem is the name of my database is not included. I'm going to undo that, or just delete that there. But if I use this method, select, hold on to shift key, right click, and select copy path, minimize that, paste, as you can see, I have my database directory, everything in there. Apart from this quotation mark, just delete that and come here, delete the other one there. I feel this method is more reliable. Click on next. Now before I click on next, let's test the connection. Click on test. There we go, connection succeeded. Okay, I'm officially connected to my database now. You can click on next if you want, but there's no need for that. Okay, you can just click on finish because you finish connecting the database anyway. Connection is succeeded, so click on finish. That is done. Now The icon is now showing a database connection right there using this SQL driver number 2 for this particular project. So I'm done with the connection of the database, so that is fine. Okay, I will now go to the source code here, right underneath here, inside the source code. Right underneath here, I'm going to import the following libraries. Okay, I will need all of those libraries for my data connection, for printing, for all of the components that I have on my system. Now the next thing I'm going to do is right underneath my public class hotel database, what I'm going to do next is going to be first of all, let me invoke the connection. Connection equals con, and I'm going to set the value to nothing. There. I'm also going to specify my prepared statement. So let's say prepared statement. So I'm going to call that let's say PST, that equals nothing as well. Then I would also go for result. That will be result set. So the purpose of this result set is when a query is performed on the database, a result search object is returned containing the result of the query. So that's the whole purpose of this result search. So I'm just going to call that rs equals nothing for now. Enter semicolon. Now the next thing I'm going to define is going to be a default. So I will call that table, default table mode. So with the default table model, I'm going to create an object here. I will just call it model equals new default table model. There we go. Now let's enter parentheses here. There we go. Okay, the next thing I want to do now is to come straight to this constructor here, or to initialize all of the component that I intend to use for my application. So let's say object, I'm going to call that column, which stands for COL. Okay, that's column, and that's going to be an array, and that is equals to all of the fields in my database. The first one is customer reference. Yep, and I'm going to enter a comma there, and the next one is going to be surname. Right, comma, and I also have first name. I think first name is before surname. That's right. So let's do it right. First name here. Then I have address here. And let's enter comma and just speed that up. There we go. Those are all my fields in place, the fields on my database. So the next thing I want to do now is I'm going to call model, which I have up here somewhere. This very model here. Where is it? Here, that very one. Let's paste that underneath here, and I'll then ask the model itself to set columns. Let's do that again. Dot set dot sets, I might as well type it out, set column and column identifier, and the columns is represented by COL column there. So that is taken care of. Now the next thing is to add everything straight onto my table. So that is actually J table dot sets. Now is J table 1 dot set model, and that will be my object model there. There we go. Let's see, why is that error? Let's come back in and see the name. The name is, that is the official name. I did not change it. I'm gonna copy that, go back in and just paste it there. Paste there. That's fine. Okay, let's create a public method here to help with the connection. So I'm gonna call that public static. So right underneath the constructor, public static connection, and this connection I'm just going to call it connect. Get rid of that, copy that and just call it connect db parentheses, and let's enter curly braces there. Okay, now this method I just created, maybe I should use try catch. Let's say try and enter parentheses, curly braces, then I need a catch here. That's just to take care of whatever error that I might run into there. And this one is going to be, let's address it as a exception E. Okay, now inside the try, what I want you to try to do for me is, so I just want you to load the driver to allow connection to the database. So that's what I'm going to do there. So I'll say class dot forename, and the name is org dot sqlite dot jdbc, all in uppercase. JDBC is in uppercase, and I'm just going to end that with semicolon. Now let's say connection, let's see, that should work really, else I'm going to use the Java connection equals equals driver manager dot get connection here, and the connection is going to be, I think it is going to be inside quotes, JDBC column SQLite column hotel database. Get the name of my database right here, have it somewhere here, hotel database dot db, and let's enter semicolon here. Yeah, okay, if it's wrong, there will be an error anyway, so that's fine. And let's just ask it to return con. There we go. Okay, supposing we have an error, so what do we do? In that case, I'm going to use a message box here. So let's come right down here. Let's move this in a bit. So I'm going to say J option pin dot. I would like you to show this message box. Message dialog. This is going to be nothing. And just get the message from the system. And I will also ask it to return nothing. There we go. Now all the errors are gone. So this method is set. Let's save that. Right, and right inside the initialize here, I need to get this initialized. So let's come in here. I'm going to call that hotel database. So let's come in right here and say con equals hotel database dot connection db. You see, it's already recognized it, so let's enter that in there. Alright, that is all done with this part of it. Right, now one more thing. Let's come right down here and let me take care of update method. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a method or a function that will update my database. I'll just call that public void, and that will be update table, enter parentheses there we go, and that is going to be this, that is initialize all of these. I'm going to copy that. It's inside my initialize here, look at it. Okay, and I'll just paste it in here. There. Then the other thing is, let's use an if statement to validate selection made. So I'm going to say if con not equals to nothing. Let's enter that inside quote, inside the curly braces. So we say, let's say string dot sql equals, that's just a variable sql. So I'm going to ask it to select customer's reference and all of the following. So let me just copy those. There we go. I'm going to copy every single field there. Come right down here, paste it here, and all I just need to do is to get rid of the quotes, really. So get rid of these here. That's going to be boring, so I'm going to speed that up for you guys. Okay, that's how it's looking now. Okay, you can see I break it into the second line. That's why you have this plus sign there. Alright, you can do the same thing, else there will be an error. So the next thing we want to do now is I'm going to use try cache again. Try cache. So let's put a cache underneath here. Or we can just copy our try cache in here. This cache. Just copy it and paste it right underneath here. Now, in here, what do I want? So let's get rid of this for now. Alright, in here, I'm going to say the prepare statement equals con dot prepare statement, and that is going to be the SQL variable here. Okay, then the other one is going to be result set equals, let's get the prepare statement itself executed, dot execute the query, and this query that we've executed. Okay, that's fine. Let's change this to lowercase here. Alright, so right underneath here, I'm going to call this object. I'm just creating an object that I will call column data. This object column data itself equals a new object, and that is where I will store all my fields. And how many in total? So let's create an array. So it's going to be 15 in total. Okay, so I've just created an object called column. This column has 50, we hold 15 records, or sorry, 15 fields. So I'm going to copy that and come right down here using while result dot is next. Close that, open a curly braces there. Very first column is going to be class as column 0, and column 0 equals results set dot get string. Where is it? Right there. And what string are we getting? That's going to be customer reference. That's my very first one. There we go. Like I said, I have 15 fields, so I'm just going to copy this and change things around. So the next one, okay, this is going to be first name. I have surname here, address, we have postcode, and this is 0, 1, 2. Array always start from 0, so 3, 4. So I'm going to copy all of this and just speed things up and get back to you guys. And there we go, guys. Now I now need to add the array straight into or onto the table, and the table is represented with the object I call model dot add rows, and the role is, as you can see, column data. There we go, and that's it. So what I'll do is, let's get this indented. Let's come in here and shift right. Yeah, that's fine. Make sure it's saved. Okay, I now also need to initialize my update function, this very one. I'm just going to copy that and paste it inside the constructor up here. Where is it? Right underneath here. Yeah, there we go. Right, so everything is looking good. For now, there's no error. And we're going to have to, let's see, all of these here, I think they're making reference to, okay, that's okay. There's no error yet anyway, because I haven't used most of the components yet, most of the libraries that I copied. Alright, so let's run it and you guys see what I'm talking about. Nothing is going to happen right now because I need, yeah, that's fine, there's no error. I'm going to use I think maybe the total or the update to save everything straight into my database and also display it. If I enter whatever here right now, there's nothing happening, nothing is going on. Okay, not even the database. The database is set, connection is made, but I need maybe this or this. So let's use this update button. So I'm going to just close everything and let's open up, yeah, updates. I'm going to right click and let's select event action and action perform. So right inside this event, if you guys can still recall earlier on at the design phase, I actually added a text box here. Look at it, there's one here. So what's going to happen is when I click on the dates, the date will appear in here so that I can directly add the date on this text field straight onto the database. The reason being because I'm unable to read or find solution to read directly from this date chooser straight onto my database. So that is the reason why I have this text box. I'm reading directly from there. And just for your information, if any of you have any solution to that, I'll be very pleased. But right now, that's the way I'm going to go about it. So let's go back in here. Right in here, the first thing I'm going to do is I want to say default table model equals default table model. Okay, copy that. Equals, I'm going to put that in bracket though. So let's say equals default table model on this table. I want it to is lowercase j and table one dot get model. There. Okay. Now that is done, the next thing I want to do is I'm going to say this model now, and I want it to start from the row. So model dot set row count, and the row count will officially start from 0. There. Now, as for those text box that I showed to you guys earlier on, I'm now going to address them. This one is called, let's right click on that and right click and check the variable is called txt date of birth. Okay, and let's undo that, so that's fine. Yeah. Okay, back in here. So I'm going to start by saying date format, and that is the very first one is going to be date of birth equals, so I'm actually creating an object here, so equals simple date format. So date format, copy that and just paste it there. And the date format, this is the format I intend to use. That stands for date, and MM for month, and Y, that for the year. There. And now txt date of birth dot set text, and the text that we're going to set in there is going to be object dot format. And what are we formatting? The very first date. Let's check the name correctly. Come right here and let's right click. Okay, it's called JDate Chooser 1. Okay, that's fine. Go back in there. So it's going to be chooser 1 dot get date. There we go. That's the very first one taken care of. So I'm just going to copy this and use exactly the same format for the other two. There. The other two, this one is called check in, lowercase n, and this one is 2. So I'm going to copy this new object and paste it right here. That's that taken care of. The other one is check out. That's date check in and date check out. So we'll repeat the same thing here. right, and now this is chooser 3, they chooser 2, and they chooser 1. So it's this text box that I'm going to be calling inside that I will refer to in my database. So this is, I'll do that and get it sorted properly. Yep, and this is going to be in there. Okay, the next thing is I'm going to write a small function here. I'm going to call it string, and that's variable string. I'm going to call it SQL equals. I would like it to insert into hotel database the following. So that is going to be customer reference. That's the very first one. Customer reference, comma, first name, comma, surname, and the next one is postcode. I'm just going to speed that up and get back to you guys. Okay, those are all the fields that the system will have to insert into the database. But what value? Which we don't know, so I'm going to say value. Values is as follows, and that will be, I'm going to use question mark to represent those. I have 15 of those. That's 2. So let's just copy and paste. Okay, and that is it. I think it's about 16 there. Then let's enter a quote in here. So if I count this, I think that's yeah. Okay, let's use try cache to get this data in. So try cache as follows. This should be in uppercase, lowercase, not in uppercase. Right. So I'm going to say prepared statement equals con.prepared statement, and the statement we're preparing is SQL. So get all of this, get it off. Now the very first one is prepared statement dot set string. There we go. And what string are we setting in there? The very first one, I'm going to call that number 1, and that is supposed to be the customer reference J txt customer reference dot get whatever we have inside the customer reference itself. Close that, semicolon. That's the very first one. I have 15 in total, so I'm just going to copy this. Oh, first thing first, let's come in here and just I'm going to copy this try cache and just use it to prevent that error. Okay, paste it right underneath here. There. Alright, that error is rotating. So copy this. I need 15 of those. There's 1, 2, 3. I have 9 there. Just copy and paste. That's it, I think. Okay, we have 15 now. So let's change this to 2, 3, 4, 7, 8, 9, 11, 12, 13, 14, and 15. There. All I then need to do is just change each of these to their respectful variable name. That's first name, and this one is going to be surname. This is address. address, and so on, guys. Okay, that's it, all in place now. Now the next thing we want to do is, let me get this to execute. So let's say pst dot execute. There we go. And once it's executed, I'm gonna have to close. Let's close this. Dot close. And we also need to close prepared statement as well. There we go. Alright, so everything is ready now, I think. And right underneath here, if you guys can still recall the method that was created to update, so I'm just going to call that method, and I want you to update the table. There. Right, that is that sorted. Now, one more thing just before for the update is I now need to also call this the method here for the table. So just copy all of that. We're gonna come right down here. Where is it? Right here, underneath here. Okay, and let's just change this because it's gonna give me an error. So I'm just gonna call it 1 or I can put an I there, I mobile, and there. And that's just all there is to it. It's just for it to confirm that data is added straight onto the booking system. I'm going to save that. I think maybe I should just try it out and see. Okay, let's enter some data in there just to see if it's working or not. I'm going to call it hotel. And the name is going to be, let's say, Tony Montana. Address. Postcode. Telephone number. Email. Montana@gmail.com. Alright, nationality, I'm going to select okay, New Zealand. Here, and here I'm going to select date of birth. Let's make that up. There. And okay, passport is male. Today's date 14th, and how long was he in the hotel for? Yeah, and menu and so on. Okay, then that is it, all done. This is not done yet, but hopefully this should work. Look at that, it's working, guys. I am very pleased with that. That is it, it's working. Yeah, that's fine. Yeah. Okay, and one more thing, since it's working, let's see if it's on the database. I'm gonna open it up. Let's come right in here and here. And where is that thing? Yeah, I think that's it. Let's see. Browse data. Whoa, it's working, guys. That is it. You see your database? That's beautiful. I'm very pleased with that. It's been a long day, but it's worth it. Okay, that's good. Alright, I'm going to just close that and yeah, close it. I don't need it. Yeah, it's working. So let's take care of 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Alright, so exit. Now let's go straight for the exit. This one, double click on exit. Right, inside here, the first thing I want to do is I'm going to create a private object here. Private, that'll be JFrame, and this frame is meant to be called frame. There. So I'm going to come down in here inside the procedure area. For that, I'm going to enter the following lines of codes. So that should take care of exit, but you must declare this. Okay. Alright, if I run that and let's see how the exit works. Let's see. There we go. See, that's the proof to use right inside my database. So exit is working too. That's nice. Let's take care of print. So I'm going to come in here, double click on print, and right here are the lines of code for print. Okay, I'm going to run it as well, and let's just see if that works. Click on print. Let's see. Guys, print is working too. I'm very pleased with that. I don't have a printer attached, so I'm just going to cancel that. It's working fine. Exit works. Now we need to take care of reset. Come right here and just double click on the reset. And on the reset, the first one is JTXT. That is customer ref dot set text, and I'm going to just say play it like that. So I will repeat the same thing for the others. The other one is JTXT. Come right down here, JTXT dot set text equals, and you can also say no value there. That is for the first name, and so on, guys. Okay, that's the reset, guys. Look at that. I've used null value. You can use days, or you can use whatever you want. There's 2 different methods that you can use. So let's run that and see how it works. We'll enter some data in here. Just want to make sure that the reset works. And here as well. I'll click on reset. I expect it to, yeah, everything is working. Apart from this is not working. Okay, now 1, 2, 3 are working. Just one more to take care of. Let's come up here, and I'm just going to copy this. Let's go inside my update. There we go, the top there. I'm just going to copy all of these. Copy, and let's go straight to our reset. Paste it right up here. Paste. That should take care of the reset. So I want to run that again. So that should take care of the reset of the table itself. Okay, let's enter some in here. Okay, click on reset. There we go. We can add. Okay, we deleted everything there. Alright, that's fine. Now let's reset. So that's okay. Alright, exit here. Now the next thing we want to do is, let's come right down here. The next thing that I want to do now is, let's see, where is it? Delete. Double click on delete. And right here are the lines of code for delete. I'm going to save that. Let's delete, compile, and let's run. There we go. As you can see, my table actually loaded up all my data. So if I close it and run it again, that's what you see. Those data will reappear, and they are all repeating data. So let's delete. Select that, click on delete. Yeah, delete, delete. Take note of the scroll bar. Let that be your indicator. You see the scroll bar is gone, it's deleting, as you can see. Yeah, that is fine. Delete. Okay, let's add some more data in there. Let's say it's going to be customer ref, and the name is Grace Warlock, and she lives in Warwick Avenue. Let's say number 45, Warwick Avenue. Postcode, telephone number, email, gwallock@hotmail.com. Where is she from? She is English, from Britain. Where is it? Let's look for Britain. It's there somewhere. Okay, there we go, right at the bottom. And date of birth of Miss Warlock. Well, ladies don't tell their age, so let's just make up something. Yeah, that's alright. Now, she's a pilot, female, dates in a hotel, and how long is she gonna be there for? Okay, up to June, that's cool. More money for us. She's there with her family, yeah. And yeah, she wants family bed. Okay, room number, alright, there, 4, and phone number. So what we need to do is, since this is not working yet, we could have been able to calculate the cost. So here, let's add. Let's come right down here and see. That's Grace right there, look at it. See Grace details there, so we can add it again. Update. We have another update of Grace details. I think I should have 4 now, so we should be able to delete, delete, and delete. Yeah. Okay. So I'm now going to take care of this. So let's exit. Let's show you the reset. Everything works. Exit out. That's cool. Okay, we take care of the total, this very one. So let's come right here. That's total. Okay, take it up a little bit. Now, the first thing I will do with this total is I'm going to declare the following variables. I'm going to call them integer. Int single room. I'm going to make that equals 40. Yep, £40. And int double room. Let's make that about £70. Then we have the family one. Family room. I'm gonna make that maybe 100 and something. Or okay, 105. That's good. Now, for the, let's say for the meal, 1 meal is going to be £9, and 2 meals we're gonna call that, let's say, about £15. Then 3 meals per day, let's say about £21. Okay, that's fine, that's reasonable. Okay, now the next thing I want to do is I'm going to use maybe, okay, let's create an object here, simple date format. So I will use that to convert the date entered. So let's call that date format. Okay, let's just say d format, equals new simple date format, and the simple date format I'm going to make it as YYMMDD. there. So this simple date format is what I will use to carry out most of my calculation to subtract the different dates. So let's say date underscore, okay, let's say date in underscore date equals nothing right now. There we go. And the next one, that's going to be date out. Okay, the data type is date. Okay, and this is out. Okay. Now let's use a try catch. I'm going to say try catch. Take it down so that you can see it. Yeah, these are the variables. I believe you guys won't have a problem with that. Here, that's going to be date in and date out. Let's use this one now. Let's copy those, paste them in here, and get rid of this. So dates in, I'm going to go for, let's format dot pass, and what I'm passing is going to be date d format dot format, and what am I formatting is the date. Okay, and that is going to be j date chooser to dot get date. Right, that should take care of the very first one. This one should be d date as well. Right, okay, that takes care of that. So I'm just going to copy these and use it for this very one here. Paste and delete this. And this is number 3. Okay, what else do we need to correct here? Yeah. Okay, get rid of the equals. Double equals there. Okay, that's that done. Now, the other thing is I'm going to use, let's take care of this try catch first, and right underneath here I'm going to say hash exception e, and let's just say e.print, e.print. Right, and right underneath here, let's say long. I'm going to call that check. Let's just say check different. Check the different data that is entered. So the very first one is going to be day out. Check out, and we're going to say dot get time. Yeah, and I'm going to subtract that from check in. Where is it? Check in. So that should take care of. Okay, that should take care of the difference between date in and date out. So create another. That is just to check, to convert the different date in here. So with that, we now declare another variable here. I'm going to make that double. Let's say q equals the different date, this very one, date different, is that here. Let's multiply that by single room, if it's single room. Okay, and then we multiply it by meal, 1 meal if it's 1. Okay, we just add 1 meal. Okay, that's for the very first one. So let's use this to work out something like tax and so on. Then we can then speed it up. Okay, so let's say q equals q multiplied by, maybe the tax rate is about 0.25, and divide that by 100. That should give us the tax. Then let's say string tax equals string dot format, and let's convert it to maybe pounds dot to decimal place. Close that, comma, and that will be that. Okay, that's fine. Yeah, now, okay, that's fine. So let's say jtxe tax dot set text, and that text is going to be tax. Very good. So that's the very first one taken care of. So the second one, I'm going to copy this. Let's copy, paste. That will be, let's change this to st. That will stands for subtotal, st, and this is st as well, st and st here, st, and this one should be stop total here, subtotal. Okay, and why do we have this error? This one should just be st, then, because we're not doing anything with the right. And this one, let's change this to subtotal. Yeah, subtotal. That's why this an error. You copy that and paste that in here. That is done. Now I'm going to take care of total. Paste that in here. come right down and let's change everything in here. This is total, this is total as well, total here. I'm going to change this one to double T, and this one will be double T as well, double T. Yeah, that should take care of total for us. Okay, so if a single room and the meal is 1, it should give us that calculation. So let's run that and see. So those are the lines of code for the total. We'll come right down, take it from the variables that I declared, bring it down because I'm going to speed it up. So we'll run it and let's see. Okay, I'm going to enter date in. Let's say date in is today, and date this customer will be leaving, let's say May and 15th. There. What about meal? Meal is 1 because we've only done it just for 1. Click on single. Room is single as well, and this one they don't do nothing yet. There we go. So it's 1000 plus, and the tax paying on the whole thing is this. Okay, maybe I should change this to double, then we can see the whole. Yeah, that's it. It's working fine. So clear, exit. Okay, back in here. Oh, I left out something here. I was meant to add the total, so I was meant to add the tax to total. There's the tax, it's called Q. So come right down here, so plus Q. There we go. So we should be able to see the tax now. Let's run it and see how that will work with the tax. If it doesn't work right, then I'm going to change the variable to double. There we go. Let's enter here today and leaving date. And that. Okay, look, it's working, so that's fine. Alright, so clear, exit. There we go. Right, so I can still change it to double though. So if I want, okay, just change it to double. Well, that would be more convenient anyway. If there's any other changes. So we've finished. All I just need to do now is copy and change the values around. So I'm going to copy these now. Where is it? Right here. Okay, copy all of these. Or use an if statement to denote which of the options made. Okay, this selection here is for single, so that is it, using an if statement. So I'm going to close that, close it right here. There. Okay, I will now come up here. All I just need to do now is I'm going to copy everything that I've done here. I will then use else if, paste that there, else if here, and if this is double, which is double room, and this is 1, so the price of double, we already have it up there. So I will also have to change this to double room. So this becomes double. There, that's it. So that's that done. So let's copy that. Now the other option is going to be the third one. If it is family room, single, yeah, family next, family room, come right down, and this becomes family. There we go. And this is family here. Yeah. Oh, this ones I need to change this to doubles. Copy, double, and double here. There, those are the 3 conditions for the very first lot. I reckon you guys get the whole idea now, so I'm just going to speed up the other 3 conditions. Let's choose 6 more in total. 6 more else ifs that we have to enter. This is the very first if statement. Have a good look at it. The whole thing is the same. And come right down, the next one. And the last one. So let's speed that up. Okay guys, I'll finish up with the coding for the total calculation. Take a good look at the variables there. So bring it down. There we go. The very first condition, if it's single and it's 1 and it's 1 day, 1 meal. Okay, single room 1 meal and double room 1 meal. The condition, the only difference is just the price. And that is, or those are the variables that are here that I'm calling. You can see 1 meal. Okay, and here double 1 meal and the room is double. And let's come down here. If it's family room, there's no, it's just family there. That is it. It's exactly the same lines of code. Okay, come here, condition number 2 and there and there, and condition number 3 right there, and that's it. That's all there is to it. So all we then need to do now is to run the program, compile and run. Okay, now run the program and let's see. There we go. Alright, let's check out the various conditions first. Let's assume, okay, it's today's date, and how many days is this person here? Let's say till around August 18, and let's say 2 meals a day and double room. Okay, this one's just full numbers, that's fine. Okay, now we need to check why that is now working. Okay, that is 2 and double. Let's check 1 and okay, family. Yeah, that is working. 2 and double is not working. We need to check that out. 2 and family, that is fine. 1 and double room, oh, it's working. Okay, there. So let's enter date of birth and we can just call it the end of this. Let's say it's a pilot, male, date of birth, yeah, let me enter about 15 and let's say 1990, maybe 7. Okay, let's say 15 days or 16. Okay, that's fine. Reference number, ref, and the name of this guy, I'm gonna call him Kingsley Queen. Address, Goodman Road. Postcode, telephone number, email address. We could just say kinsleyqueen@gmail.com. There. So now the decision time. Let's see if we can add that to data. So we have all of the details of Kingsley Queen there. update. So we just come right down, and that is it right there, Kingsley Queen. Okay, I can delete that, it's gone, and I can add it again. Look at that, Kingsley Queen again. Okay, so with that, guys, I'm going to call it the end of this tutorial. I suppose you guys enjoyed. Please do subscribe to my channel, and I'll be very pleased if you can join and become a member of the channel. There's a lot of benefit if you become a member of the channel. Thanks for all your support, and bye for now.